Hello there, Sorry from 17 once again. This is some Titanfall 2 multiplayer on the Xbox One. We're playing Attrition on Eden and I'm rocking the R201, and this is going to be some pre-patched tone gameplay. So, you've seen me use tone quite a lot, and in a lot of the videos coming up you're not going to see too much tone, because he's kind of the guy that I put on nowadays when I need to win, when I'm getting stomped, or when the team's not doing so well, because tone is arguably the best Titan in the game. I don't think you can argue a case for any of the others really, because tone just does everything so incredibly well. But there have been some changes as these grunts piece me up here and actually nearly kill me. That was a pretty scary moment right there as I try to flee because I'm on the map now fleetingly. I get sonar pulsed just then, and I push over back here towards where my team are engaging, hoping to see my next victim, and there he is as I take a few bullets to the back, hit the stim, run around here, ADS. I'm using a perk I didn't mean to be using, which is sprinting while shooting. Another attachment that I don't think you should ever really use. Then again, we're on console, and a lot of people play this game as if it's Call of Duty, so it's probably pretty good in that regards, as me and that guy kill each other because my aim wasn't very good. But tone is ridiculous, and it's been changed. But Respawn want the changes to be more dynamic and organic to the game, and they want you to feel the changes rather than be told what they are, so it doesn't change your opinion. Preemptively, as I go in a massive deathmatch with a guy with an L-star, and he loses because I have hit scan and he does not, as I push forward here with the MGL on and rock the smart pistol, which is a really interesting gun, but I hate how it takes over your anti-Titan weapon. I would rather it take over my main weapon. It seems like such a compromise for a player like me, and I don't know why it does it. Even when you die, or even when you use all the bullets, it still kind of lingers around, in my experience, which is not too much because I don't really know how to use this gun. I just like the idea of moving really fast and having a gun that can shoot for me while I do that, because it enables me to focus on movement a little bit more as I take out some grunts. Really good against taking the AI out as well, so there's a lot to be said about this gun, but a lot of people hate it for obvious reasons. But tone, in my opinion, the way that he's been changed is I unfortunately lock onto this poor soul, and it's going to get worse, guys. I think I get shot in the back here, and then I use the stim to completely disorientate this poor player, and then hit him with the, see what I mean? This gun is filthy when you move quick, so use it and experiment and have fun with it, because it's in the game, you know? There's nothing you can do if you don't like it. And here he is, the man of the hour, Mr. Tone. So the changes that I think this guy had is I think they've slightly they've slightly shook his mechanical anus. No, they've tweaked his special, his ultimate, his salvo core just ever so slightly. It's still amazing, but it's a little bit less ridiculous. And I think that they've reduced the splash on his 40mm. And the reason I say that is you're going to see me hit some shots in this video where I'm hitting the floor near people, and now it will take 4 to 5 shots, whereas here it takes 2. And I can feel the difference, because when I watched this I was surprised I was getting the kills. And it doesn't work like this anymore. There are a lot of players who are very experienced and much better than me at this game who think that the patch is a placebo in a lot of ways, and that they haven't actually changed anything because tone is still incredibly good. But on console, I think the changes really shine because we're not as good as the PC guys. We don't have the same tools, the same ability as they do to play that kind of way. And although there are some people who are incredibly gifted at playing Titanfall on console, it's not the same, and you'll notice that the metas and the guns that people use will drastically differ between console and PC. I watched a bunch of PC, and everybody was saying that the Hemlock was a piece of shit because all the SMGs are lasers from hipfire, and why would you ADS? Whereas on console, with auto-aim, with the slower pace of the game and the slower nature of how a lot of the players move, the Hemlock is an M16 from COD 4, it's a monstrous gun. So it's interesting to see the different opinions. But one of the areas I think that tone is a little different to as well is I think his rockets have slightly less tracking on them, because I feel like I don't get those easy kills on moving Titans that I used to get by just releasing the salvo when I'd got my lock on. And this could be just placebo, guys, in my head, this particular one. But I get the feeling that it's been altered ever so slightly, so if you wait for the missiles to come to you and you dash, they don't seem to track the same and insta-murder you like they did before. I don't think any of these changes have been massive. I think they've been subtly done so that you don't realise that they've been changed, and I think it's a clever way of doing it, but it has to be said. Tone is still the most popular Titan you will come up against. It's a she, technically, and she is still the best, because her kit has an answer to every single situation, and that's what makes it so powerful, and that's why you're seeing so much of it. Does that mean it can't be beat? Hell no. I kill tones all the time, and I'm sure you do, because a lot of players just do not play it correctly. They don't use the wall, they don't use the radar, they generally just get themselves put in a corner and end up getting rushed. They don't move intelligently, they don't flank, they don't play like you meant to play, which is to say, be active, be aggressive, know when to be defensive. As I jump on top of this. Is it a tone? It is a tone. And he pops the smoke, I run back over to the left, come off the boxes for a little bit of momentum, but mess this up, and boom! Whenever a pilot is close to you, the best counter to that is to do the melee attack. It can be spammed, it has questionable tracking, it murders people. As we come back in against him, more smoke, which is going to end really well for me as I try and finish off the Titan, get the assist, get killed by the smoke, and back into the action. So, the spawns on this map can be quite easy to predict in Attrition, and this corner over here, if you can get the enemy to spawn in it, you can do some pretty filthy things. And you'll notice I think a lot of my team are having trouble right now, getting stomped by some of the spawns, just like that. A couple of people here in the building waiting for us to pop out. We've got sonar pulses coming in our way to show us. There's a bunch of the kill markers showing there's a lot of activity here. There was a guy behind me just then, but I didn't see him when I was playing, apparently. Do I clock him now? Oh, is he already dead? There's a quick grunt kill. Back into the room. Just settling my pace at the moment to see if I can see where people are. There's a couple of bunny hops, but bailed on them because at this point I wasn't very good at doing it. It is not an easy thing to do, which is a complete lie actually. Bunny hopping is not too bad to do. Air strafing is something that's going to take some time. As I come up against this guy, he's incredibly slow, he's moving on the floor, I pop the stim, I jump into the air, and I show why mobility often wins gunfights in Titanfall. And that's what you need to always consider, guys. You can have a very, very good streak playing this like it's Call of Duty, using intelligent cover, head clipping, glitching, moving around, defensively, holding down certain areas of the map, never wall running, never sliding, never doing anything too assertive. But why play Titanfall if that's how you're going to play? The momentum is the thing that separates this from a lot of other games, and if you can get to the point where you're comfortable with moving quickly and aiming while you do so, you will never fear people moving slowly, because they will never be able to track you. They don't have a mouse. They can have the sensitivity on, the maximum sensitivity, but I tried it, guys, and I love max sensitivity, and it was just too much. The game's too fast. It's going to take a ridiculous amount of dedication to make it work, and the players who you run into in these lobbies aren't willing to put in that kind of time. They just want to jump in, they want to get their Titan, and they want to go and do a nuclear explosion on people and just get a few kills and then play the next match with their buddies. They're not the person studying the movement, they're not the person trying to get max momentum, trying to do air strafes and bunny hops around the map. They're not looking into any of the more advanced things, they're just having fun, and that's awesome. But if you want to elevate yourself a little bit above the competition, there is a whole host more details to this game that can help you do that, and hopefully in the coming days and coming weeks I can bring some videos that kind of convey how exactly it is that I'm personally learning this game, because I'm new as well. I had never touched a Titanfall until a week after launch when I jumped on multiplayer with Hobo, and I just ran around like a psychopath jumping and having a laugh. And then now I'm slightly learning the subtleties, the nuances, and appreciating what makes this game so special to me. And if I can share some of that with you kind folk and elevate your game, then that's just gravy, isn't it? Because we all grow together, we all get better, and as the competition improves, so do you. Because a rising tide raises all the ships, doesn't it? And that's what you've got to think like, guys. If you're coming up against a team who are stomping you, who are beating you, why are they beating you? What are they doing that you're not doing? Can you take from them what they did to get that success and apply it to your own playstyle? That's the type of things you want to be thinking about, and there's a lot more than just, giant robot smash, and that's the joy of playing this game, as I take on a couple of Titans here, sending out that salvo, hitting up with the Reapers. The friendly Reapers piss me off, dude. There's so much collision on them, they're a nightmare, and you can get stuck on them more than you can get stuck on anything else. And we've all been in that situation where we're on a sight line, and behind us there's a bunch of friendly Titans trying to push up, and they just cock block you when you're trying to back up. I will never understand why people see 3 Titans and decide to join them in one lane when they can flank around the right and get behind the people that they're engaging. It's almost like they never played a multiplayer game before, where the idea of running into enemy fire is not a bad thing. And I don't understand that, but if you just look at the scoreboards at the end of the games when you play on Titanfall 2, you will notice that there are a lot of people struggling to play this game. And unfortunately they tend to be on my team a lot, so I can often get frustrated, but this is not Call of Duty. This game has all kinds of different variables, different things that happens. It can be a clusterfuck at times, and learning to understand the chaos and using it to your benefit can be difficult, and that's why you're seeing this learning curve for a lot of folks, and that's why there are a lot of times when games go to time limit rather than score limit. But give them a couple of weeks, give them a couple of months, everybody will get better, and the entire skill level of the community on Xbox will hopefully ascend, and you'll either be with it or being stomped by it. So if you can watch some videos to help you, that's always a good thing. But thank you for watching, and you take care now.